Hi everybody. Okay, got a couple minutes here, so I'm gonna do a video about the court cases that I'm following and will be following in the future, in the near future, I hope. Okay, now one case I am following as of today is the case Uvalde in Uvalde, Texas. Now, I wasn't sure if I was gonna cover this because well, A, I didn't know when it was actually going to come to trial. And two, I didn't know if the subject matter was going to be a little too much for me to handle because I tend to not talk about um, cases unaliving of young people, so I try to avoid that. But this one caught my interest because I'm trying to see what the real cause is and what really happened here because I know it's been put out in the news, but I also know that somewhere the truth is in there. So I'm trying to get to the truth. Um, okay. So we're on day 3 as of today. Okay. Day 1, there was a possible Brady violation, which means I think it means there was a information not given to one side of this whole thing, and that's a violation, right? So the way the court wanted to remedy it was he wanted to tell the jurors to strike all this person's testimony, right? Because there were too many inconsistencies in it. However, now that they're talking about it today, they said they could have handled it differently because they could have said there was more information and they could have just taken down the information at that point. But the way they did it makes it sound like her testimony is unreliable, but that's what you don't want. So I guess they were doing the best they can. Okay. So because this is a sensitive matter, a lot of people aren't being shown. I mean, a lot of witnesses are giving their testimony, but you can't see their faces. So I've never dealt with a case like this. So it's kind of new to me in that aspect. Um, and also, I try to go into things with an open mind, okay? But I don't like the way the prosecution is handling this because they made a witness testify on the stand today and they aired the 911 call as evidence, right? So then after the 911 call, they asked the woman again. The prosecutor says, "Can you tell me how you felt? Can you tell me how you felt in that moment?" And I was like, "What?" I was thinking, "What? Why?" I think she pretty much told you how she felt in that 911 call. I mean, you got all the emotions and the whole range of everything in that one call. So them asking questions like that after the fact was kind of like not necessary in my mind, but that's what they did. So she had to go through it again. And I think it was just like pouring salt in the wound. And also, um, but she gave the best response that she could. She said, "Excuse me, but I don't think you can understand what I was feeling unless you put in the situation yourself." So I guess she handled it the best way she could. Um, then they had another witness, talk about how she was in her room, the schoolroom, and she didn't know what was going on, really. And she really thought something was going to happen to her, but nothing happened to her. And then what happened is she saw something happen to a teacher across the way and she felt guilty. But I think that's part of like survivor's guilt. I'm not sure. But that would be my best guess. So yeah. Okay. So before, I should have said this before I start, I guess. But okay, so this is an interesting case because I don't think we've ever had a case like this because, um, okay, they're charging a police officer with allegedly, well, this is not alleged, it's on the record, 29 counts of child endangerment. But here's what the alleged part is. Allegedly, because he's a police officer and he's supposed to go to the danger, right? And allegedly, here's the allegedly, he didn't do anything. 29 counts of it. So I want to see what happens here. I really do. So, and the other case I'm going to be covering sometime in the future, although I don't know when, is the Nick Reiner case. And the only reason I'm interested in this is because I want to see what the truth is, but also I want justice to be done because I did cover the fact that Rob Reiner, a famous actor, producer, director, died, and he, along with his wife, at the same time. Okay, and so allegedly, his son, their son, is the main suspect in all this. So I want to get to the bottom of it, and I want justice to be done to these nice people because although I don't know what he was like as a person in his house, he seems like a very nice guy on every interview I've ever seen. And his wife looks like she's the same kind of person too. So that's what intrigues me. And I want to see what happens here. But I have no date as far as that. The only interesting part is that Alan Jackson, the former attorney of Karen Read. Now, you guys, anybody who watches my channel should know the Karen Read trial because I covered it extensively. Trial 1 and 2. Okay. He was the main lawyer for him, but now Alan Jackson has decided to step down, and there's no reason why. So I don't want to speculate into that. So we're gonna have to see how it goes. All right, bye everybody.